The world is what you think and feel. You've woken up with a high vibe, in a good mood. In those days, almost nothing can bring you down, right? And then on other days, you wake up, everything is gray and gray. And of course, everything is gray and gray. Aloha, my beautiful one. If this is your first time tuning into my podcast or YouTube channel, my name is May. I'm your neurospicy cyber witch, here to help you go from overwhelm and stress with your ADHD and highly sensitive traits to trusting yourself and, feeling good about who you are. And this is actually part 3, wave number 3 of my Serve Your Energy Wave series that I'm doing right now. And to help you come from overwhelm to that. And the thing is that here's the perk, especially for us ADHDers, right? We have, we have moods. We have, maybe if you're a female one, you have, we have hormones, we have cycles, we have universal energies, we have families around us, we have so many things. And so all of those things, of course, play into our own energy field. The thing is that there is a part that we can actually guide. And most of us don't know that. And it starts by recognizing that we have the power to change our thinking and our feeling. And that's why I'm adding the feeling, because I know a lot of you are going to say, May, I don't trust that, because when I think the world is nice, but then this and this and this happens. That's true. That's why I'm adding the feeling in your whole energy field, because there might be something subconsciously, something underneath that you don't consciously know that is creating, other things. I remember one of my, I think it's actually like, if you've read, like if any of you have read Joe Vitale's book, Zero Limits, then you've probably read that part. If not, I can assure you that all my other teachers of certain different kinds of Hawaiian philosophies have also taught me this way, including my shamanic teacher that had nothing to do with this philosophy. That's why I know it's going all over the place. But imagine everything that is shown to you outside of you is a reflection of your thoughts and your emotions. And we have the power to change that. Let's just make a little quick, let's make a quick, practice right now. If I tell you to start feeling into the emotion of love, and you're focusing on the word love and all it brings with it, the warmth, just feeling held and being somewhere, if that's how you define love. And then let's snap out of it. And let's go into the energy of anger. Remember the last time you were angry. Where in your body does that, show itself? How does it make you feel? What kind of images come up? Right? And you feel how it creeps in, and it's all over your body, the whole anger. Now, again, let's do this. Let's step out of it. Let's make a third one a little less, black or white. Let's just take a beach. And imagine yourself walking through that beach. The warmth on your feet, how it feels when the sand touches your feet and you walk and the sand drizzles over your feet and the sun is warm and you hear the breeze of the wind blowing through the palm trees, and maybe you feel the heat on your skin. Right? I'm giving you a moment. See? You just felt that. And I wanted to make this exercise with you because I just wanted to show you that how it's possible for you to shift from love to anger to just a beautiful, wonderful beach. And I hope that you Have you just felt that it was possible for you too? You can do it as well. If you acknowledge for yourself that the world is what you think, what you believe, that is what creates your world. If you keep on thinking that ADHD is an illness, if you keep on thinking that ADHD makes you wrong, if you think that your hypersensitivity makes you sensitive and weak, those are your realities. And I want to acknowledge them. I don't want to shame anyone for having those kind of thoughts, because we've all had them, because that's the programming that we have been taking for us. I'm not discussing if on purpose or consciously or whatever, but it's something that has come for whatever reason into your field and has set in your system. And if you acknowledge for yourself that you're able to change that, to shift that belief, and I'm not saying to go from, my ADHD is a superpower. And I know, because I've talked about it as well, that we need to see it more as a superpower. But I understand that not everybody's going to go from, hey, I feel wrong, I feel too much, I feel too little and not enough, to, hey, this is a superpower, right? Because it takes time for us to understand that. But what is the next possible version that you could see? Maybe if it's not too much, but hey, maybe it's just neutral. Maybe it's just not making, maybe I'm not going to define ADHD as an illness. Maybe that's my first step. Or maybe my first step is to say, hey, my highly sensitivity actually makes me a beautiful and wonderful and great asset for my work. Because of my sensitivity, I understand certain things in meeting rooms better, right? Just to give you an example. So for today, I hope that that's your main takeaway, to remember the world is what you think and feel. The world is what is inside of you as well. So next time you feel something coming up, a fear coming up, I'm going to say a prejudice coming up, because we have a lot of prejudice, not just racially or, that kind of way for other people, but also we have that prejudice of us as ADHDers against ourselves, because we think, because we have that, now we can't do this and that. Okay, it could be, I don't know, we're all a little bit, it's a spectrum, right? So there's many colors to all of this, right? But why can't we at least come out of the judgment? Why does it have to be good or bad? Why can't we just, at least try to look at it as something neutral? Just acknowledge for yourself. Like, if that's the one thing, to start acknowledging where you are right now. Where are you having thoughts that create, for example, negative thought, negative things around you? What kind of energies do you have? One last example that I'm feeling coming up for me right now is one that I think I've always been using this example, but it's so perfect. It's like, I don't feel valued in my work. I'm in my job, and neither my colleagues, they all come up and, can you do this and do it fast and like this. And then my boss does the same thing, but never there is any, hey, wow, I appreciate you, I value your work here. Nothing. And then there's one question that I always come up with, that I say, okay, so if you're feeling undervalued, how is it with yourself? How much do you value yourself? How much value are you giving yourself? Boom. I know. And if we think about the world is what we think and feel, using this example, if I feel like I'm not being valued, what can I do to value myself more? And then watch the changes come and unfold. All right, my beautiful ones, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's inspiration. Please, if anything of this resonated with you, let me know either in the comments of the video or the podcast, or send me an email. Let me know. I really read all of them and I appreciate them. And I'm very much looking forward to see what resonated with you. And until then, I hope to see you next week when we go into wave number 3. No, sorry, this is not wave number 3. Sorry, wave number 4. See you next week, everybody.